Well, welcome everybody. Hey, hey, hey. I'm getting some feedback. I wonder why that's happening. Okay, now it's not happening. Okay, hey everybody, welcome. Everybody starts out muted, so that's normal. So I got y'all muted, and I'm hearing something weird.
You heard that too, Angie.
Okay. Okay, so welcome everybody. So Art, do you want to go right into your message and save announcements? I know the songs kind of set some mood. I don't know if you want to go ahead and go, or do we want to do some announcements or save those for later?
Yeah, let's just go.
All right, let's just go. We'll save, Steve's going to share about what he's going to share later, so we're going to hold off on all the beginning announcements for later, and we're just going to go ahead and let Art start now. So welcome everybody. Let's put him on spotlight. All right, go ahead.
About 7 years ago,
Let's make sure the volume goes up just a little bit.
better.
Yeah.
About 7 years ago, I read. I came across Eckhart Tolle. I think it was. I think it was 2014 or 2015, and I read the book, and in the middle of the book, there's just this line, and it said that pain is resistance to what is. And I'd lived on this planet for 43 years. How's it sound, Ange?
It's not good enough.
We should do a sound check on Tuesdays. Yeah,
We did.
okay. Yeah, we should do it again until we get it
Perfect, right there. I don't know why it changed.
All right.
It's great.
So when I read the book, I was joyful. I got to this place where I found out that acceptance was just resistance to the way it is. And it was relief to me, because if I just accepted the way things are, my pain would go away. And I believed it to be true. The next thing that happened very shortly afterwards, I got into, I heard somebody mention what was called the Four Noble Truths. And the Four Noble Truths were Buddhism. And the second Noble Truth says that, the second and third truth talk about suffering. And the first truth says there is suffering. The second truth is the cause of suffering. And they say the cause of suffering is desire. We're almost the same thing, When we're resisting the way it is, we're desiring it to be different when it can't. And so these things matched up. It was true that if I didn't desire it to be different, then if I just accepted the way it is, that I wouldn't suffer. And then I went into the big book, and the big book said the answer to all of our problems is acceptance. If we could just acceptance. And so it was very clear to me back in 2014 and 2015 that I could eliminate my pain. I just thought, this is easy. I just have to practice acceptance. I just have to accept the way it is. And that was predominantly true. And I saw it that way for a long time. I saw that, like, oh, wow, I'm in pain because I'm resisting traffic. Like, I'm angry that there's traffic and I've come up to traffic. So all I have to do is just go, there's traffic. I'm like in pain because I'm at the store and there's a line, and I'm mad that there's a line. So it was easy. I accept there's a line now. And then Hal Elrod, in this beautiful kind of sermon he did called it Miracle Morning. And he taught, you just say these three words, can't change it. And that would solve it. So and it was true. It was like all these people, like people are in pain because somebody died and they didn't want them to die. So there is a lot of pain from this resistance. Somebody's dead. I don't want them to be dead, so I suffer. My mother's dying. I don't want her to die, so I suffer. My boyfriend broke up with me. I didn't want him to break up with me, so I suffer. I lost the job. I wish I didn't lose the job. I suffer. All true. All true. And all we have to do to solve that kind of pain is acceptance. So it got, as I went on in this, and this is kind of what we do here, is we deal with pain. We deal with people who really haven't been able to deal with their pain and then use drugs to get rid of their pain. And now you come here and we're all together. And I've really developed this kind of pain expertise of like what pain is and where it comes from and why people are in pain. And you know, you talk about acceptance a lot, and you tell people if they just accept the way it is, then, oh, you'll be fine. And I've really expanded on it now today or lately. And I saw that that's just not true, that that's the only kind of pain there is. And that it's not just that pain isn't just resistance to the way it is. If you take it one step further, pain is resistance to the way you think it is. So it's not the suffering of the way it is. If actually we knew how it is, that would be easy. It's our theories of how things are. It's our delusions of how things are. It's like not even true. So it's easy. Anyone can see that if I just don't suffer over this flat tire, or I just accept that I have a flat tire, I don't suffer. But it's what's going on then? Why are people still in so much pain? And I've kind of looked into it now. I've watched relationships lately in the house develop. I watched people be in relationships, and I've watched fights occur, and I've watched pain occur from these fights. And almost 100% of every time I see a couple fighting, it's because two people are misreading the situation. It's because one person is assuming one thing is the motivation, and the other person is assuming the other motivation is different than it is. So it's not that they're suffering from the way the other person is being. It's the way they're suffering from the way the other person thinks that they are being, and the motivation behind it. And so it's not just accept the way they are. It's like this theory we have about why the person did what they did. It's these theories we come up with. It's these assumptions. It's these things that we actually like believe to be true on our side. Now I looked even further, and I don't know if you guys heard the song tonight, but that was the song. It says our pain is self-chosen. And now I've gotten to the point. If you ever notice that when somebody's in pain, you can't talk them out of it. I want you to notice and even if you tell them the way it actually is, they won't believe you. If you say, no, that's not what the person meant. That's not why they did that. That's not true. It's just don't look at it that way. The person will still not believe you. So if you look further and I see that there's all this self-chosen pain, and I start looking into why. I start looking why as people are we choosing pain? Why are we choosing to suffer when we don't have to? It seems real simple. We just accept the way it is. We don't suffer. But why is there so much pain still? And if you look closer, you're going to kind of see that pain is an alternative to results. It's this alternative world that we can live in that really ignores the world of results. It ignores the world of love. It ignores the world of sex, and it ignores the world of success, and it ignores the world of all that kind of stuff, and it kind of substitutes it. So the reality is we create our pain. We create it through our assumptions, through our opinions, and we want it that way. That we actually want the person to do that to us, because then we get to be right. We want that to be true, that they're doing that just from some evil intent, because then we get to be better than them. We want this pain because it's not the pain we want, it's the righteousness we want. Because righteousness is a substitute for success. Righteousness is a substitute for love. Righteousness is a substitute for all these other things. And so it really, and I see it predominantly here, if you ever notice anyone here that's ever in pain and talking in group about their pain, notice that they're delusional. Notice that the rest of the group is saying, no, man, you're seeing it wrong. Your mom's not doing that to you. No, your girlfriend's not doing that to you. No, your boss isn't doing that to you. And you look and you see that every single time somebody is in pain in this house, it's not because they're resisting facts. There's very little time somebody's sitting here and going, I'm suffering today because my mom died 10 years ago. No, it's the theory about my mom dying and the motivation behind it and what happened and how it's my fault and how it happened because of me and it's personal to me and it's all that causes the suffering. and you really can look at every single person that's in pain and complaining or saying that they're suffering or saying they're having a bad day, almost 100% of the time, from my experience now, it's self-chosen pain. It's, I want to be sitting in my own shit. I want to be doing this. Because why? Because I'm not focused on results of any kind. I'm not at the gym working out. I'm not at a job doing something successfully. I'm not creating in the world. I'm not making an impact anywhere. I'm not having results in my life. So in order to substitute that, I've now chosen pain. I've chosen failure. I've chosen distress. I've chosen victimization. I've chosen this because it makes me righteous. It makes me right. And I'd rather be right than successful. I'd rather be right than trying to be successful. And then even when you tell somebody and you ever see when, like, it's almost a letdown. Maybe you guys have experienced this, where you've assumed somebody did something to you and it was evil intent and they were trying to hurt you, and you truly get to the point where you figure out it wasn't, that they weren't even thinking about you, or it wasn't even about you in any way. And I want you to know that you feel let down by that. You don't want to give in. You don't want to say, fuck. Oh. So I say Buddhism. Uh-oh.
You're fine. It's just, I'm not sure what's happening.
I say Buddhism said it. They said that the cause of suffering is non-acceptance. Eckhart Tolle said it, but I think they kind of got it wrong in a minor way, maybe a big way, because I don't really believe that we're not suffering because we desire a car and we don't have it. We're not suffering because we desire a home and we don't have it. We'd go after the home. We're not really suffering because of traffic. We can accept all those things. We can live in acceptance over all those things. We can walk into a long line at the bank and not throw a tantrum and go, the line's long. We can say, I got to go to work today for 8 hours and not suffer over a work and accept that. But it's this thing that we do, this self-chosen thing that I see you guys. I say all your pain is self-chosen. I say it's all stemming from a fact that you want to be a victim. I say it's stemming from the fact that you want to be right. I say it's stemming from the fact that you would rather not focus on your results in your life, but focus on what somebody else did to stop you from those results. I would say you would rather not be in love in your relationship, not be in love with somebody. That's too hard. Not risk yourself, not put it out there, but you would rather figure out why they're going to screw you over and you can get out of the relationship and end it. And you would rather figure out why, and we come up with all these crazy stories in our head, all these crazy assumptions. I watched these two fight yesterday. I watched you and her. I watch all these couples fight. They're both wrong. Absolutely delusional on what the cause of the suffering is. The suffering is caused because they're both wanting to be right and wanting to be a victim and not wanting a solution, not wanting results. That's the suffering. So our suffering isn't caused from non-acceptance of the way it is. Our suffering is caused from our delusions about the way it is. I've seen a kid suffering today in our program. He's suffering from a world that is not true. Suffering from a world that isn't true whatsoever. And he's come up with in his mind as a reason to be right and a reason to then destroy his own life and a reason to actually get loaded. So I say that the pain is self-chosen, and I say that we choose it because we want to be righteous. We want to be right. We can't wait for people to let us down. We can't wait. We want it. We anticipate it. We crave it. We can't wait for people to make mistakes. We can't wait for people to fail us. We cannot wait. And when they do, we jump on every opportunity to say, yep, there it is. I'm right. You're a bad person. You let me down. Every step of the way, taking everything that other people do personally, taking it all on ourselves. Everything. So it's not non-acceptance. What is it that you're suffering from? What is it? What is it that's stopping you from worrying about your results today? Did you focus on the results of your life? Maybe. And so it's really, really worse than just non-acceptance. It's really choosing that over that. It's really figuring out how you guys are all screwing me over. Figuring out why you're failing me so that I can be righteous, so that I can actually complain about you. But I have to figure it out first. I have to do the work. I have to do the work of figuring out. I have to sit there and think about you in order to, and figure out how you're doing it. And then figure out why you're screwing me over so I can suffer. So I see it, I wear thin. But all my pain is self-chosen. All of it's not true. So we get down to this place where I say people can either be a victim or a leader. And then what happens is there's a thing here. And what a victim does is complain and be right. And what a leader does is what? A leader seeks understanding. And why won't people seek understanding? Why won't they do it? Why will we not, as people, why will we not ask somebody, hey, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Can you just tell me your motivation and tell me why? Why won't the Republicans ask the Democrats why they do what they do? Why won't the Democrats ask the Republicans why they do what they do? They will not ask each other. They won't, because they don't want to know. They don't want to find out that it was good intentions. They don't want to find out that the other person had good ideas. They do not want to find it out. Why won't people call their brother and ask, why did you do that? Why? Because pain is self-chosen. We'd rather have pain than results. We would rather respond and be right and righteous and indignant, and we love it. And there isn't many people that get wronged and ask, hey, what's your point of view? How come you did what you did? We do not seek understanding. I've asked you all for months to seek understanding of the relationships that you're having problems with. How many times has it been done in this house? Very, very few. Very few. I know it hasn't. I watch fights and leading to complaints. I watch fights that leading to two people complaining all the time. Fights leading to two people complaining. Fights leading to two people complaining. Fights leading every time. But never fights leading to seeking understanding. Hey, let's stop. Let's understand each other. People do not want to do that because that's results. Nobody wants results. Nobody wants success. Nobody wants love. They want righteousness. They want to be right. They want to be in pain. All pain. I am getting to the point now where I don't even see pain as non-acceptance. Pain is not wanting something you can't have. How much time did you guys spend today in pain wanting something you can't have? Any time thinking about a car or, I don't think so. You spend any time thinking about somebody that died that you wish they didn't die?
Maybe wanting things to be different, but
yeah.
not necessarily wanting things that we have.
But to sit here and think that we're suffering from desire, we're not. We're not. We're suffering from our ideas of what somebody else did to us and why they did it. We're suffering from somebody else's behavior that we don't understand. We're suffering from our opinions of other people. We're suffering from our opinions on why people do what they do. I hate you because I don't understand you. And I like to hate you because it makes me better than you. And so I'm going to stick with that. There ain't no goddamn well we're meeting for coffee and going to try to understand each other. No way. Ain't happening. No way I'm calling my girlfriend before I yell at her and say, hey, wait, let's try to understand each other. Not a chance. Not a chance. I'm going to sit in my righteous indignation for hours and then maybe come back to a little try to be nice thing when I get over it. But I'm going to suffer, and I like the feeling of sitting here and being right, and I like the feeling of you being over there and you being how you're being, and I like that. And I'm going to sit here in it for a while, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to bask in it. I'm right. We'll see. Sit here and wait for my apology. When's it coming? You don't see people go, I'm not going to suffer from 1 minute. We're going to talk. We're going to talk right now. I say our pain is all self-chosen. It's a delusion. It's our assumptions on why people do what they do. It's our assumptions on what motivates others. Rather than the simple pain that we can obviously get rid of. Hey, I have to work 8 hours and it sucks today. What do? You take a breath. You say, I can't change it. You go to work. You don't suffer. Hey, I don't have a car right now and I'd like a car soon. What do? You take a breath. You go, I don't have a car right now. And you accept it and you move on with your day. You don't sit for 2 hours going, man, I don't have a car. Man, I don't have to work today. So we're not suffering over that. I find it really, really deep. And today, if you find one of you guys tonight, if one of you is in pain, try to talk somebody out of it. Just go ahead. When somebody's in pain and they're complaining and they're upset, talk them out of it. Clearly, nobody wants to be in pain, right? Should be very easy. You should just be able to talk somebody out of it. But I want you to notice you can't. And it might be months, days, weeks, and you cannot talk people out of their suffering. They want to suffer because suffering leads to righteousness. And they would rather be righteous than successful. Because the other side of this is humility. And humility doesn't feel as good as righteousness. Humility feels embarrassing. Humility feels like you lost. Humility feels like you made a mistake and you're giving something up. Righteousness feels like you're getting some property. Humility feels like you're giving up your land. What am I going to do if I fall into this one? What if I say I'm wrong? What if I say I'm wrong? No, I don't think I am. But what if I do say I'm wrong? Then what? Is this going to be a pattern here? Am I going to have to keep being wrong? Where is this going to end? How far are they going to take this? Pretty soon I'm going to have no prop sitting here like this, wrong all the time. And that's what we think. But being right, that feels like we've gained property. I got a bigger piece of land. I'm bigger now. But every time you got to go and say, hey, I think I don't understand. I think I don't understand you. I think I need to. That's hard. There's no gain in it. What is the gain in understanding another human? There's no visible gains. There's no good feeling. There's actually a letdown. Shit, I liked hating that person. You almost feel bad. You're like, God damn it, they're nice. Shit, I liked hating them. Now I found out they said something nice. It's true. So go ahead. I mean, really, look. I'm going to tell you, if you want to say that you're suffering over something that happened to you, I think you're probably suffering over the motivation of the person that something happened to you and why it happened and what your part in it was. And maybe all that's a delusion. Maybe all of it's not true. And I sit here with all of you in pain, and I think you're delusional when you're in pain. And I think you should tell me I'm delusional when I'm in pain too. And we need to hold each other accountable for that, because the reality is people aren't doing things to hurt us. People are doing things to do things. And we assume that it's to hurt us. and we assume. So for me, it's a new level of finding out another visible angle towards pain. And I know it's self-chosen for one reason. You can talk nobody out of it. You can tell them the truth and they won't believe you. You can say, no, the person told me why they did it. They told me why they did it. They told me they weren't even thinking about you. They'll go, nope, you don't know them like I do. They're evil. Our pain is self-chosen. We want to suffer. That's why we suffer. Seems easy enough. I figured out mine is. Maybe you can figure out yours. But a very, very suspicious link between suffering and being right. And I want you to look at that. I want you to look at the suspicion behind that. That there is a very clear link to when you suffer and when you're angry and when you're upset, that you're also right. And to not suffer, you don't have to give up desire. You have to give up being right. You don't have to just accept. You have to give up being right. You know, still people can accept it. Yep, he's a prick. I accept it. Yep, he's a dipshit. I accept it. No, that's not it. See? So I don't know if Tole had it or not. It's questionable. Pain is not resistance to it how it is. Pain is just this is how it might be. Pain is my assumptions on how it is. Pain is my theory on their intentions on how it is. I see people suffer from addiction all the time. You know why? Because they take it personal. That's why they suffer from addiction. Family members suffer from addiction because they take it personal. I've been there. I've taken it personal. I know why I suffer. I choose to. You take it personal. You think that they're doing it as a poor choice and a poor choice against you. So we suffer. Then there's that, yes. I also, so you can come on and say, yes, I suffer because my kid's an addict and I don't want him to be. I get it. I know. But that anger and the resentments, those linger because of our assumptions on why they get loaded. Why can't they just make the right choice? I've done everything for them. And they just won't choose like I want them to choose. Like it's personal. So, okay, I see questions already.
Yeah, and I see a lot of nodding out there going on. So Tracy will be first in line. Let me tell everybody else how to raise your hand. There's a raise your hand feature. Let me show you on mine. There we go. So I'm raising my hand right now. There's a raise your hand feature on your device. You can raise your hand and get in line. And that just tells us that you have something to share, a question. We'd love to meet the new people out there. If you can't figure out that feature on your device, then you can just wave your arms and get my attention, and just be patient because there's a few screens to go through. So I don't see everybody at once, but we do want to get to everybody. So let me lower my hand. Let me unmute Tracy and lower her hand. And she will be first once we get her unmuted. So all questions, comments, everything is welcome here. So can we get you unmuted, Tracy?
Unmute.
There we go. Got it.
There.
Hi, Tracy.
Hey guys. Okay, so Art, I know everybody is aware of where my son's at right now. So I don't want to be right. I don't want to be in pain. I sure the hell don't want to see him go into self-destruct, but he is. And I'm doing everything I can on my end to try to stop it. But how do you wrap your head around that? That it's, I don't want to be, I'm not self-righteous. My son's fucking up. That's it. I don't want him to be, and I don't know what to do. And you've heard me cry and scream and yell, and how do you deal with that?
Well, that's part of this. Like I said, it's not wrong. I mean, I'm not saying that when they said pain is resistance to the way it is, and when the way it is sucks, and it's true about the way it is. I'm not saying that your pain is self-chosen tonight. I'm not saying that you're choosing this. Now, if this is the way it is and that's what you're suffering over, I don't want it to be this way. But there's a different side of the suffering. There's the side when you begin to talk about the intention behind it. There's the side when you begin to talk about the person's motivation for why they do what they do. There's the side where you begin to do that's different. So there's two sides of this pain thing. There's this situation, and it's tough, and it's the way it is. Because I'm in this tough situation right now, yes, I'm suffering. But then there's that self-chosen that, no, this is going to happen, and the delusions of why it's happening, and the extension to that. And then I see him, your son. He's created this world in which everyone's out to get him, and everyone's motivations are false, and everyone's wrong, and it's not true. So, what he's come up with is just, a world that he can allow himself to get loaded in. And that pain of his is self-chosen. That pain is self-chosen. And he needed it. He wanted it. I think as people, we get addicted to it. We get addicted to pain. We get addicted to pain. We get addicted to and without it in our life, we create it. And sometimes people just get bored when they're not in pain. They don't even know what to do. And then they create drama and they create stuff. So no, there's two different things there. There's, can you leave it at, he's screwing up, and there it is. And this sucks. And there'll be suffering from then. But that's like a flat tire. You see? And then you just go change the tire. But what do you have to do next?
That's I guess what I'm saying. Okay, I don't want to be feeling this way. So what do I do next?
Like I told you. What can you do? You keep your phone on.
I did. I unmuted it. I mean, I unblocked it like you told me to.
You keep your phone on and you wait. And you see what you can control, and you see what you can't control, and you see what you can do different, and you see what you can't, and that's it. You're doing it. It's fine. No, I'm not suggesting here tonight that all of our pain, things happen that suck. Things happen that suck. But I'm talking about this laboratory that I live in here with these guys. I'm telling you, out of 100 cases of pain in this house, 100 are self-chosen, falsely motivated, not something that sucked. Like, I don't see anyone get home from their day at work here or get home from their day and go, I'm suffering today because my boss said I didn't do that good of a job or anything. It's not that. It's something from 10 years ago. It's something from 15 years ago, and they're choosing to suffer over it today because they're adding motivation to it, and they're not seeking understanding of the situation. If it happened 10 years ago and you're still upset about it, it's because you don't understand the situation. If you understood the situation, you would be relieved of your pain. And that's, I just reading a book now, another book that we're going on called what is that book called? The Outward Mindset. And the Outward Mindset, they're talking about, guys that hate their parents for years of their life until they finally, like, their father then committed suicide. One of the guys, his dad, then committed suicide. And then, he finally sought understanding of the people around his father, and he got a totally different viewpoint of almost every situation of what his father was going through when he was dealing with his son. This is over and over. And so I see it, I see people wanting to be in pain on purpose all the time. And I'm not saying that's 100%, but it's pretty predominant. Thanks, Tracy. We'll talk more.
Okay.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thanks, Ange.
All right. Who's next? We have some new people out there.
Ask her about her announcements.
I see Renee out there. We'd love to say hi and introduce you to Art. Can I get you unmuted? We're trying. There we go. Hey, Renee. Hey, so
Hi,
Art,
everyone.
this is Renee. She's from Mossy Rock. But Kristen and I had a consultation with Renee last week, and she's coming to meet with us in person on
Thursday.
Yeah. Hi, Renee.
Hi.
Glad you could make it.
It's our cabin. We moved. I used to live in Lakeland in Auburn, and this is our cabin. Yeah. So we just moved out here during the COVID.
Oh, you work from home?
I actually retired a long time. I retired, and then I was teaching yoga, and then all the yoga shut down. So no work.
Oh. Retirement you get at this age?
I was a controller, air traffic controller.
Oh, wow.
They got to kick you out because your
you-
brain goes bad.
Really?
You have to. I'm not a full age, but you can retire after 25 years. So I did that.
You already did 25 years and
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe I gotta start doing yoga and look as young as you.
Yes.
I'd love to do yoga with you guys.
I don't know if you've seen the way my body bends. I don't know if you would like to do yoga with me.
Yeah. It's just stretching, you know what I mean? It's a little at a time, like everything else, right? We're not all pros even I'm not
Yeah.
Yeah.
My body's more like, I don't know, it's more rigid than that. It's not.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. What's going on, Renee?
Sounds like I got something going on like Tracy. So I got an adult son who just, I don't know, just got into something. I don't really know exactly what he's into, but good kid, kind of dropping out of the family, not calling us, and the shame, maybe. I don't know.
What city is he in?
Right now he's in Body Lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you Thursday. We'll get the details.
I'd like to talk to you. I did all the, I've been doing some therapy for myself and did the Al-Anon thing. And I was telling Angie how, I don't like just sitting around crying about something. I feel like, I'm upset, but I like to work on something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sit there and watch the train wreck happen,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
How old is he again?
24.
24, Bonnie Lake. What's his name?
Nico. And yep.
Nico?
Yep.
Thought maybe some of these kids would know him, but I'm sure they do.
Oh,
somehow.
I'm sure there are a few that probably know him. He went to Riverside, so I'm sure there's some kids that know him.
All right. Well,
I'm listening. I've been watching you.
You'll feel better.
Yeah, she's been watching the
You'll feel better
videos.
Thursday.
She's been doing her homework. And Renee, we've got lots of Lakeland families, and so welcome to the Battlefield family. So
thank you so much.
Yeah. We look forward to seeing you in person.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right.
Oh, we never did Kyle's corny comedy tonight. We got to get on that too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so let's take a break for an out.
Oh, go ahead.
Get your questions ready for this. And
get your questions ready. Get your hands ready to be raised. So we're going to go to what we usually start with. We usually start with a comedy. So we're going to go to that now. And then Chris, you'll be first up. So everybody else just start getting in line. And we've got Kyle here, one of the managers at Rebuild Recovery. He's got a couple years clean under his belt. And so he brings us our little comedy moments in the beginning. So bring it.
Mike's right there.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear him?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
He's good already.
Yeah. I hate this joke. But okay. Why did the golfer change his socks? Because he had a hole in one. What famous four-man rock group does not sing? Mount Rushmore.
Did you make that one up?
No, that's not one of mine. Okay. But there are a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
They're like men. I tried to start a dating site for chickens, but I just couldn't make hens meet. I realized I've become so good at sleeping that I can do it with my eyes closed.
Okay.
But I dropped my pillow on the floor the other day, and I think he got a concussion.
They're getting worse.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah, you're coming from you, Margaret.
You know, I really hate it when people say age is just a number. I mean, I'm pretty. My mom got mad at me and she told me to quit acting like a flamingo. Down. That's it.
That's a good one.
I like that one.
Thank you, Kyle. Very good, very good. And let's after Chris, then we'll go to Steve Kale Maddox for an announcement, and then all you guys can continue getting in line. So let's go to Chris with a question here. Let's get you unmuted. Hey. Chris from California, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good.
Art, thank you for everything. I've been going back. I haven't been able to do nights every time, but I've been going back and watching the YouTube solutions groups. And I wondered if there's like a manual or written instruction somewhere of how to overcome suffering by being present. I know you threw out a couple of more kernels tonight with acceptance of the way things are and giving up being right. I'm wondering if there's some written something somewhere.
Well, I mean, I think, tonight is about what you're doing it. I mean, you could have sat home with your assumptions about addiction, and you could have sat home with your, theories about why your son does what he does. But what you're doing right now is you're seeking to understand the situation. And, and that's something that we do when we don't want to suffer. So you're already doing it. I mean, right now, you could sit there and suffer and be right and say your son's, flawed as a human and have your theories about why he does what he does and be righteous over it. Or you can have humility and go, this is a learning opportunity for me. And this is what I'm doing. We're learning as a family. We're growing. We're taking this opportunity to, that's the thing about victim and suffering. Victims want to suffer. And leaders, they want to seek understanding because life's always showing up like an opportunity. And it ain't easy just to say, accept without understanding. The part of non-acceptance isn't just, so pain is this thing of non-acceptance, this resistance to the way it is. But the reason we resist the way it is not because we just want to resist the way it is. The reason we resist the way it is we don't understand the way it is. We don't understand why it's happening. We don't understand why people are doing what they're doing. We don't understand why that person just cut me off on the freeway. and we take this false assumption of why they cut us off or whatever we suffer from. So the idea that you're seeking understanding, that's the solution. That's the solution. You can be right, or you can seek understanding and be open to the possibility that you don't understand the situation, and that's why you're upset about it. And then just being present, that's a tough one. Of course. But can you? You know, just being present, what happens is when we don't understand something, we can't get it off our mind. We try to be present, but we can't get it off our mind. We can't just, you know, a lot of times we can't just take a breath and forget about things. We can't just take a breath and be present. So we have to do this work. But notice, as soon as somebody's behavior is understood, as soon as you see that their intentions weren't to hurt you, you're relieved and you're present again. You're like back. You're like, okay. I mean, if your boss says something and you don't understand what your boss says, you can why he said what he said, and then you spend 8 hours coming up with assumptions like I might be fired and I don't think he likes me and this and that. And then you go ask your boss, well, why did you say that? And he goes, oh, no, that's not what I meant. And then all of a sudden you're back to presence again, and you're back to like understanding. And the reason we're not present is because we're in this feeling of unsafe. We're in this feeling of I don't know. And it makes it hard to be present because we think we got to protect ourselves. We think we got to figure out what's wrong. We got to solve it. And so, you know, you're doing it. I could tell you to take a breath and be present. And that's what Eckhart says. And that's what we do. And you can practice that. And of course, through meditation and all those kind of things, through that kind of work, you're going to relieve suffering. Yeah, you know, doing that'll relieve suffering. But the reality is, why is there still suffering then? And that's, in my opinion, a lack of understanding. A lack of understanding. And so, you know, if we take it that way, you're already doing it, Chris. You're on here, you're trying to learn, you're trying to understand. You're not just sitting in a place complaining. You're not, you know, that's not it. So, you know, I think everyone is doing it, you know.
Thank you, Art.
But yeah, if you read Eckhart, he's great. The book's great. You know, we study that. And that's where it started, was like, oh, well, I can just spend some time outside of my mind. That's good. That's a lot less suffering if I'm thinking less. So,
Can I say something?
yeah, go ahead.
We do have a recommended book list I can get you, Chris. For those of you who are a part of the Facebook private group, The Family's Battle, if you're on Facebook and you're not already in that group, just search it, The Family's Battle, and we'll accept you in there. But underneath the file section, there's a recommended book list. We should update that. It hasn't been updated for a while. Art has mentioned some other books recently. In fact, Art, Carrie Burrows is asking what book. At some point tonight, you referred to a book, and I don't know which one. So if you can name drop that one again, that would be great. But Chris, I can get you the recommended book list.
Thanks, Angie.
Yeah, thanks,
I get
Chris.
on Facebook too.
Okay.
Thanks again, Art.
Yes.
Enjoyed your jokes, Kyle.
Kyle's going to mention something to Chris.
Yeah, So, this is actually a topic that we had yesterday in our own group here, is that there, you know, like, and I get it, like, it'd be so nice if there was just like these concrete action steps to take, that all of a sudden you do this and this mindset has changed of the way you're living, and that the suffering's gone, and now life is more peaceful, and you're living this life maybe more enlightened, like a Buddha person or something. But it doesn't happen like that. Change doesn't happen like that. It's not. It is not an action step. It's something that just occurs. And and Art's right. You're doing it. I mean, first of all, you come to the realization that there is suffering, and then you come to the realization that maybe change needs to occur within yourself. You know, it can't be, you can't be thinking about anybody on the outside about how they need to change. That's not going to work. The only way it's going to work is if you're looking at you. And so you come to the acknowledgement, it's okay, I do need to change. And then that's when you start looking, you know, you read the books that's on the recommended list. You start listening to solutions. You hear these ideas and maybe these exercises, you know, learning to take a breath and to breathe, and learning to become present. Learning that change is possible. and that information just ends up retaining inside of you, and you'll be going through your day, and you'll have a moment where you'll catch yourself. For me, it's catching myself. Be reading this book, and it's something called Self-Betrayal, and I definitely recommend the book. It's leadership and self-deception. I can't say it with these dentures very well, but it talks about what's called self-betrayal, and I'll go through my day, and I'll realize, because of this book, I had no idea until this book, I listened to it, that I betray myself, and I can stop myself maybe, and maybe I don't, but I'll catch it. But this change just happens. It just happens. You got to start getting into the practices of what we talk about. Listen to the solutions. Like I said, read the books. Like there's no way to just take. There's no exact list to follow to live all of a sudden this new life free of suffering. It's going to take a minute, but it happens. You just got to be open to the change. That's it.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Kyle. All right, let's do Teresa, and then we'll go to Steve. So Teresa, let's get you unmuted.
I didn't know you're coming to me so fast.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm kind of speaking on behalf of Troy, my brother. You guys know. He wanted to say something, but he's being shy. So today is his 1 year anniversary of being sober. And he really credits what he was telling me. He goes, it's all because of Art and Angie and the Battlefield family that he is not drinking today. And I told him that it is also because of him, because he did the work. But he wanted to say that, but he was feeling shy. So I'm speaking for him.
Hey, Troy.
He just really thanks everybody. And,
What about all the work Travis did, Troy? He was there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody recognize me or like Janet? Is Janet there?
Yes.
Hey, where is she at?
Yes.
I don't remember her. Todd said hi, Travis. You look good too, Travis.
Travis did a lot for Troy. He sure did.
Yeah. Travis, you came to my house a couple times, watched some Hawks game, didn't you?
Yes.
Hey, I think we got Jeff in here somewhere.
Yeah. Get Jeff on the screen.
Where's my bro Jeff up there, man? Oh, there's Hannah. Remember her? Yeah, there's my bro right there. I was calling bro. and then Kyle, I like your corny, funny jokes you always tell. Comedy.
All right, nice job.
So,
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, nice job, Troy.
Yeah.
Really great to see you on here every week. I love it. And Teresa, thanks for making sure you came up on the court here. Thanks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
You bet. All right. How about some Mr. Steve Maddox? Let's find you. So we have a really fun event coming up in June 12th. A few weeks ago, Steve talked about it. And so we're going to talk about it again. I think a lot of people aren't understanding what it is. It's going to be a really fun event coming up on June 12th. So let me let Steve start. So go ahead, Steve.
Sure. Hey, thanks, Art. Tonight, that was awesome. I loved it. It hits home so well. It's very good. So we're talking about an event, a trivia night on June 12th. And a lot of the things we've been talking about tonight actually fit with this really fun game, in the fact that when we were together doing Solution Group in person, one of the things that helped, not only the messages and the content that Art was giving, but it was the camaraderie. It was the connections. And perhaps the joint group suffering added to our common cause to seek understanding and to learn what this whole thing is about. And it was a lot of those people that have that are in our lives now that have kept it going, to say, oh, that really has helped. And that's what this event is all about. So if you're someone that's interested in connecting to battlefield people, and you like trivia or you don't like trivia, it's still a fun thing to do. You need to just contact Becky Wiggins at Becky@battlefield.addiction.com. And the reason for that is what we're really looking for is a social connection where we can take a couple of hours playing a game, laughing, and maybe getting to know one another, maybe sharing some things to ease the pain, because we all felt it. And we're looking for teams, or we're looking for individuals that want to be on teams. And what we want to do is have an event where we take a breath, a group joint, take a breath, enjoy our company, and feel a little good and have some fun. And that's why we're looking for people to sign up so that we can build this this fun activity.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah.
How many on a team?
Yeah. Okay. Great. So what we're looking for is building a team of 6 players. The reason for 6 players is in between the set of questions, you will be either face-to-face if you choose to do it live, or you'd Zoom, but there's a chance to connect, to have conversations about these different questions. And you get some self-disclosure in there, and you get to build on some community by those 6 people on a team. There's one. Yes, go ahead.
Let's do my thing
sure.
here. Okay.
So the other thing is, go ahead.
No, at least we're going to do this real quick. Hey,
Sure.
are the bars on tonight?
Yes, the bars are on.
Okay, bars, get your team together. I'm going to have 3 teams over here, my team and 2 other teams coming from my house, and the military house. So the bars, are you going to have your team?
Are you in? Are you in, Ron and Mary? Yeah? All right, they're in.
Okay, what about those? What about
so
those
that
losers
means-
at the Wiggins house? Are they going to have their team over there, or what?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay.
Got all these covered.
I saw the Dershes on. Are the Dershes around?
Yes, Dershes.
All right, I'll destroy their team too. Where are they at?
There we are.
Come on now.
Get your team ready. Get your team ready. You're going down. Okay, what about
Penningtons.
Yes.
Oh, they're crushed.
Penningtons. Come on, guys.
I was at one of these last night for a fundraiser, and when we were doing it, one of the people said, "Well, I don't know any answers. I don't know any answers." The questions are so spread out in so many different categories. She picked up like 3 or 4 different right answers for our team that she had no idea she knew the answers to.
Here's some more questions, Steve. How am I going to stop them from cheating? I don't want them cheating. I don't want them going on Google or some shit
There
like
are
that.
definite rules that the trivia jockey will share. And one is you cannot Google. You can't use your phone. You have to use.
Go on Google. Gary Burrows is going to go on Google and try to cheat.
No cheating. I know you. No cheating, Chris Dersh.
Houses. That's right. Yeah, I got a kid from the house coming over to each one of your houses to make sure you're not cheating on the Google.
There's Josh, you'll be at your house.
Yes.
Katie
Yes.
Wiggins, that's
Okay.
Josh.
Okay, so let me ask a question to clarify. Okay, so Ron and Mary have now agreed to form a team. So they have 2 people, the 2 of them. So they're want to add 4 more, Steve? They want
Yes.
to find 4 more people for their team, whether
Correct.
it's other battlefield people or family and friends.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So if there were someone out here in at Solution Group that's just a single person, and they want a team, would they be able to join Ron and Mary's team?
Yeah.
They absolutely would. And again, the way they can do that is if they're interested, they just contact Becky at battlefieldaddiction.com, and we'll hook everybody up onto Teams and get that set so that you can be a part of it.
They have to have
Kyle from our house, he's going to put our three teams together. And
all right, Kyle.
So he's got it from our house.
Nice.
Perfect.
Nice.
Good. Okay, it sounds good. Now, you want to go ahead and get your names into, Becky, so we can organize this. We want to make sure that Clyde, the trivia jockey, has all our names so that by June 4th, so that we can be all up and ready. We'll contact every team and every team member prior to the event, and we'll give directions on how to get on and what to do.
All right.
Great. So Ron and Mary are going to email Becky. All of you guys are going to email Becky so she has it all. And Becky, go ahead.
Yeah, when you email me, I'll send you all the information so you'll know exactly how it's going to work.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Well done, people.
This is going to be so much fun. And I just want to say thank you, Stephen Birdie, and our entire board, our team, for just coming up with this creative idea of a fun event for us. Like Steve shared, since COVID, it has sure been different for us Battlefield people. We're so used to being in person and hugs and all that, and it's been over a year, and so this is just so fantastic that you have created this. So just thank you for putting this together. It's going to be an awesome time, and we really appreciate it.
Just so you guys know, I just got a couple drug addicts in from the MIT campus. They're here. I don't
Leave
know
it to you to get ringers, Art.
They just,
They're in the back room.
I got them in the back room thinking right now. They'll be ready by the 12th.
Oh, yes.
They'll be detox.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys all on the 12th. June 12th.
Awesome. June 12th. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you. Okay, Angela Bottaluco, let's get you unmuted and ready here. Oh, how's that?
I think I got it. Did I get it?
All right. Hi, Angela. This is Angela from West Virginia.
Hi.
Hi.
That's on June 12th. That's a Saturday, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a time of day?
Steve, let's get him unmuted. I was assuming 6 or 7, but let's see. Oops, we're trying to get him.
All right, there we go. Sorry.
We got it. You're there.
Yeah.
You're there.
So anyway, it'll be at 6. It'll be at 6 o'clock. We'll go on a little bit earlier. 6 o'clock is when we'll all go on, and that's when the game starts, 6 or 6:30, and it's about a 2-hour block. There's like 5 sessions or 5 sets of questions that we go through. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah. My time it would be 3 o'clock. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. That's a perfect time for this.
Or
by the way.
your time will be 9 o'clock.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's better. Yes, I work on Saturdays. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so your time will be 9 o'clock. And if you want to be a team captain, let Becky know. Or if you want to be on a team, let Becky know. She'll put you on a team.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We're going to have West Virginia represented. That's awesome.
Yep.
And then we got to get Chris down in California represented. Who else first? We've got Janet's mom, Kim, from Alaska. We're going to have to get all these other states represented here.
Yeah, beautiful.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to go to Becky here. Go ahead, Becky.
I'm so blind. I just wanted to mention it's not a fundraiser, but it is $20 to sign up. So if you want to be a team captain and you sign up, then you can either have, your teammates pitch in or cover the $20 yourself. But that's to cover the cost of the trivia jockey. So
$20 per team, not $20
per team. Not
yeah. So like Mary and Ron, we'll have one $20 charge, and a team of 6 people could all go in $3 and cover that, or however you want to cover that. Yeah, so it's a fundraiser, not a fundraiser.
Other than the side bets with Art.
Great.
Yeah, I bet. I heard that. I need the side bets, so I take all side action. So you want to bet on who wins? You run it through me. I'll have odds. It'll be like a horse. Just run it through me. I'm holding all the money. Yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun, guys. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
All right, so we have about 13 minutes left. If there are any other questions or comments on the topic, now's your chance. If there's anybody out there that needs a coaching moment, this is the place to do that. And if there's somebody we haven't met out there, we'd certainly love to meet you too. So 13 minutes left.
I want to remind everyone, if I don't see any questions or anything, but stop me if there's a question, Ange. But I really, really challenge people to look into this, and I really challenge people to notice someone suffering, and then try to talk them out of it, and really, really acknowledge that you will not, and that no matter what answer you come up with, they're going to stay in their shit. They're going to stay there, and they're going to suffer, and you're not going to stop them. And they're going to tell you every solution you come up with, they're going to tell you why that's not the solution. And, this is a self-chosen thing that I'm seeing here. And, it is really clear to me now, if you don't want to suffer, don't. And it's that simple. If you don't want to suffer, don't. If you want to suffer, suffer. And if you don't want to suffer, then you should be seeking understanding. And if you're suffering and not seeking understanding, that's because you want to suffer. And it is that clear to me. And I get that visual because I see people choosing to suffer over and over and over and not wanting answers and not wanting to hear it. And it's really shocking. And that's how you know somebody wants to suffer, is because they're not seeking understanding. And it's how you look at the Democrats and the Republicans. They don't think they're suffering. But if you turn on MSNBC with the repetitive same talk about not understanding the other side's behavior, as if they're shocked at what they did, again, for the 900th day in a row, for the 9,000th day in a row, and then you turn on the other channel and they're doing the exact same thing. You have to get to the conclusion they don't want results anymore. There is nobody wanting results. Then this righteousness has become a great substitute, and they are choosing it. They're suffering over their appalledness of the other side. They're both appalled every day, all day. Appalled. Why are they still shocked? Why are they still shocked? Why are they still talking about it? It's a choice. It's a choice to suffer. Try to talk them out of it. Try to tell one side you just try to understand the other side. You won't. They won't. Try to go, hey, let's come to a conclusion. Let's get answers. They won't. People want it. Are there questions? If not,
well, let me just make a comment. I'm loving the shirt you're wearing, Art, and I wanted to point out to everybody that we still have some No Bullshit Hugs shirts, and if you'd like one, you can contact Kristen. So Kristen at battlefielladdiction.com, you can contact her. But loving it. Everybody needs one of those. In fact, let me share. Renee had. Let me just share the story real quick. So the story behind the No Bullshit Hugs is just growing up in our house. You know, there becomes a certain age where, you know, the kids kind of don't want to give hugs. You know, that certainly happened in our household. And our son, it started becoming difficult to get hugs from him. And so we would say, what kind of hug is that? We don't give bullshit hugs in this house. And then fast forward to the last day we ever saw Devin, which was this week, 5 years ago, is May 28th, 5 years ago. The very last time we saw Devin, he had started to kind of give one of those awkward hugs. And then Tim was like, what kind of hug is that? And Devin gave him this monster, full on, strong, powerful hug. And it was just a moment. And, we had no idea, he would pass 6 days later. And so a year later, when we planted the tree for Devin's 1 year anniversary of his passing, we're all sharing stories about Devin. And the common denominator was that Devin kind of gave stiff, awkward hugs. And so Tim shared the story about no bullshit hugs, and that being a thing in our family. And the last time we saw him, and so then all the kids started hashtagging no bullshit hugs, and so it kind of became a thing. And so we created the shirt, and so that's the story. And Kristen has something, but yeah, so we have a few left. You can reach out to Kristen. This is Kristen, if you'd like a shirt.
And I wanted to say that my mom won't let me wear a shirt that says bullshit on it. So that's why there's a little asterisk there. So it really bullshit.
Yes, that's true. That's a true story. Her mom, yes, that's very true.
Called. Or I wrote down, did you focus on the results of your life today?
Yeah.
Can you expand? Is that important? I mean, I don't think I focused on that enough. What does that mean?
Well, I think that even we've been talking here at the house, and it's like, I don't even think people have really gotten to the difficulty of just like figuring out what people want. First of all, like, what did you want today? What did you want to happen? And then if you figured out what did you want to happen, and it wasn't just get through it, and it wasn't just get this thing done, but there was something you wanted to happen. I mean, that would take a lot. If there was something you wanted to do, or some, achievement, or, and I think people have gotten out of the results of the relationship. For instance, did you focus on the results of, when I say your life, I mean a relationship? Did you focus on the results of the relationship? Did it get better? Did you seek to have a better relationship, and did it? Did you seek understanding and have it get better and improve afterwards? Or is that not what you're interested in? And are you really looking close and seeing, even when you go as simple as going to the store and you see a slow clerk, or you see somebody that's annoying, do you stop to even try to understand the person, or are you just happy being annoyed? Are you just happy to get in your car and complain about how stupid the teller was? And I think it goes down just to that. But people aren't even, they're not interested in results. They're not interested in success, or they say they are, and that's a lot of this, Carrie's online. We and as a house, we've been reading this book, Leadership and Self-Deception. And again, we got to attribute it and our openness to Ken and Wendy, and they gave us the book to read. And I like to say, and what Kyle was getting at is, we're gotten to this place here where we're understanding that we change through information as human beings. And the change doesn't just come because somebody gets up one day and says, I want to change. You've all probably been on here a lot in your days, and you wake up and say, I want to change today, and you don't. And you say, I want to do better, and then you don't. And what I say is that we are actually in the way of change. We're in the way of it. And if you just get out of the way and let information change you. And so this book that we were out of the way of ourselves, and we didn't take our program too seriously, or so serious that we couldn't read somebody else's book. And we brought this book, Leadership and Self-Deception, into the curriculum. And as we did it, we realized really quickly that, people, and this book is metaphorically done in a company, and it's brought to the company. It says what their theory was: people don't focus on the results of their job. They focus on the failures of other people. They focus on who they can blame. They focus on how they can point out how other people are screwing the company over. They did a study, like when the outward mindset in this one, they did a study, and they said, how was your performance as an individual? And this was at Ford. And every person there rated themselves 7 or higher on performance. And they rated the company a 3. So everyone in the company was performing at 7 or better by their own standards, but the company was only performing at a 3 out of a 10. And you just see, that they've figured out who the problem is, and it ain't them. And that's what people are up to, rather than what did they do? What results did you do today? What relationship did you make better? Who did you understand more? What did you do to understand somebody else? I had a phenomenal experience today where I was in a relationship with someone and I had a totally delusional idea. It was proven delusional of why I thought they were motivated in a different way than they were. And I really wanted to go with it today. I wanted to go with that. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to be upset. I truly at some point wanted to go with it. And I found a little crack in the door and didn't. And I opened up the door and said, how about I don't go with it? And I'm just going to try to seek this understanding. And lo and behold, I was like so far off base. And that's just how it works, like almost all the time. When you truly try to have results and say, wait, I don't want to be right today and be miserable and be not talking to this person. I would rather just seek understanding. And it got better. And I think that's just it all the time. And that's how we get results. And so seeking understanding is the way that we get results of anything. And I think that in relationships, for sure, that's the way to get results. Understand each other better. That's got to be the way. Right. But, or just so focused on let's say today that you focus and you go, did I do my mile walk? Did I do my house cleaning? Did I do my 2-mile walk? Or did I take for me, it's like, did I take my supplements? Did I eat right? That takes up a lot of my time when I'm focusing on those results. It takes up a lot of my time that I'm not suffering. But when I sit, I think about how everyone's screwing me over and how it's how I didn't take my supplements today. And the reason I didn't is because these kids are so bothersome and they're always on my mind and they got so many problems and that makes it so I can't do my life. And geez, I need to get rid of all these kids around me and then I can just have my day. And that's how it goes. Mm-hmm. So as soon as we don't focus on our results, like the book says, we betray ourselves. So once we betray ourselves and don't focus on the results and don't do what we need to do, we start blaming. We start suffering. And that's it. And it's not because we're not accepting the way it is. It's because we want to suffer because that relieves us of the obligation of results. Yeah, we can justify our suffering and it relieves us of the obligation of results. Like, it's beautiful. It's a sweet system that we've all developed. And I think maybe a long time ago when the Buddha said suffering is caused by desire, he might have been right because they weren't a petty society like us. They weren't a bunch of victims. But however many years later, we have now developed a society where we critique the way somebody sets their coffee cup down. We critique the way somebody makes our hamburger. We critique everything. We critique if somebody leaves their underwear on the ground or if somebody does the toothpaste cap wrong or whatever it is. I don't think that was going on back then. People back then were like, I'm suffering because I want warmth and I don't have it. I'm suffering because I don't have a home or things like that. Or I'm at war and I don't want to be at war. And, we're different now. We cause our own suffering.
All right.
Petty.
Got it. Thanks,
Kristen. And we're at 8:30. So closing thoughts.
Well, that's it. I just challenge you. I challenge you to talk somebody out of suffering when they are, and really look. And I challenge you to get yourself out of suffering when you're suffering. And I challenge you to look at how much you like it. I want you just to look at that and acknowledge it. If you can be honest with yourself for a second and go, man, I like being upset with somebody. Man, I like it. Man, I like having somebody in my targets. about who I can blame right now for my life? Man, it's nice. What if you didn't have anyone in your targets today? You didn't blame anyone for anything today. Nothing. Well, I would say then you focused on results. I would say that you did something to better your life. But if you drove in your car today and you were considering how shitty everyone drives and how great you drive and how all your coworkers suck and you're great and how your son's doing this and screwing your life over or that, and whatever it is, you're choosing to suffer. It's a choice. And I know it is because I see people choosing to suffer every day. And they're suffering from delusion, and they're suffering from their own theories, and they like those theories because those theories make them right, make the other person wrong, make the other person's intent flawed, make the other person evil or stupid, make them smart. And so people are suffering from their theories of the way it is, not the way it is. And it's deep. So I just challenge everyone, and maybe I'll pop on to Mom's group and hear what they have to complain about or whatever they want to say.
Yes, Mom's group tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. If you don't already have the Zoom link for that, just pop me a text and I'll give it to you. Once you have it, it's the same every week, just like Solution Group, but it's 2 different links. So it's just a 1-hour coffee every Wednesday where us moms get together, have our coffee together from home on Zoom, connect, talk about the topic from the night
I'm gonna
before.
do where the undercover boss, where I dress up as a
Yeah.
mother, talk about my kid, and then snap the wig off and start grilling everyone. Yeah.
That's 2 times this week you'll be dressing up like a mother.
That's like the 3rd time I'd be dressing up like a woman this week. Logan, stop. So yeah, that's supposed to be a secret. Yeah. All right. Well, once again, get signed up for the trivia. I want to destroy you. So I destroy all teams, my team. I got my little Harvard students detoxing right now. Yes. They'll be ready to go. Yeah. Got them. Yeah, gonna switch them up from the fentanyl to the Adderall so they can study more. And, yeah, we're working the lab over here. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us, and see you next week.
Great night. Thanks, Art. Bye, you guys. We'll see you all next week. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.